Welcome to ATR Powerslam, Above the Ring's new YouTube show, coming to you this weekend to provide you all the wrestling results from the week ending in 2/25/2023 with a 15-minute time limit. We are the hosts. We are your host, the hosts, yeah, the SLB and Scott. John, the Statman, is off on assignment. I'm going to kick things over to Scott immediately so we can talk about the results from Raw on the 30th.
Yes, sir.
The 20th, I mean.
So, with Elimination Chamber in the books, we'll talk about that on our latest episode of Above the Ring. Make sure you go out and listen to that. It'll be coming out Monday morning. So, after EC is done, we jump over to Raw. And first things first, Sami Zayn trying to mend some fences with Kevin Owens after everything that has happened. But KO's like, nah, this ain't going to work. I'm out of here. So, leave some thought of what might happen when it comes to WrestleMania, but we'll see what happens after that. But while this is all happening, Baron Corbin comes out to the ring, attacking Sami Zayn, and we jump right into our first match of the night. Sami Zayn does get the victory, so obviously the night not a complete loss for him moving forward. After that, we had Mustafa Ali and Dolph Ziggler. Now, this feud has been kind of bubbling for like the last month and a half, with Ali always showing up when Dolph's doing interviews and just running his mouth. And Dolph, obviously been around forever, says, enough is enough. Let's settle this in the ring and we'll go from there. However, Ali gets the roll-up victory on Dolph, leaving Dolph very surprised in the ring. So I look forward to seeing where this goes. This might actually end up as a WrestleMania Night 1 match, and, good for both of them. After that, we had Cody Rhodes coming to the ring with another heartfelt promo looking towards WrestleMania and Roman Reigns. He was interrupted by Paul Heyman, and the two of them trading more barbs back and forth. And I'm telling you, if these promos between those two men are not selling this match, then I'd check your pulse. That's all I gotta say. After that, we had an Asuka getting a win over Nikki Cross via submission. Seth freaking Rollins defeating The Miz due to referee stoppage. Seth just going insane, and the ref said, "No, we got to stop this. Miz is dead in the ring. We got to leave. We got to let that go." After that, we had another episode of Ding Dong Hello with Becky Lynch coming in and interrupting Bayley as she was interviewing her fellow Damage Control members. She was then interrupted as well by Lita. Lita joining forces with Becky Lynch. And looking forward, it looks like Becky and Lita will be challenging for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Should be very interesting. After that, we had Bronson Reed with a dominant victory over Chad Gable. And then Bobby Lashley beating up Elias. And then our main event of the night was Austin Theory and Edge for the United States Championship. Austin Theory getting the win, but with a little bit of help. Finn Balor coming and attacking Edge, costing him the match. So it definitely looks like we're going to have ourselves Edge and Finn Balor at Mania at some point, some match. Don't know how, don't know when, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Switching gears over to NXT, we had Ilya Dragunov defeating Trick Williams in a very good match. It's probably Trick's best match that he's had so far. He's had a lot of growth, and I really look forward to seeing where he and Mello go from here. The Dyad picking up a win over Chase U. Gigi Dolan returns from her egregious attack by JC Jane while JC's having a match with Indy Hartwell. Obviously, the match going into no contest. We had Gallus defeating Malik Blade and Idris Anafe. I always butcher that name. I feel so bad for doing so. Tony D'Angelo defeating Von Wagner. Alba Fire defeating Ivy Nile. And in our main event, Braun Breaker defending his NXT Championship belt against Jinder Mahal and getting the victory to retain. So now I will tag over to Sam so he can cover some AEW Dynamite and Impact Wrestling.
Yes, on the 22nd, we had a pretty solid episode of Dynamite. Opening match, we had Cassidy taking on and defending his All-Atlantic Championship against Wheeler Yuta. Up next, we had Ricky Starks and Jericho setting up their challenge for pretty much Revolution. Ricky comes out, says, hey, I want a contract for Revolution against Jericho with nobody behind him. Folks, that's what is going to happen. Following that, we had the Acclaim defeat Lee Moriarty, and Big Bill. We also had Christian Cage come out and get jumped, I believe, by Jungle Boy. Following that, we had Sky Blue get, I would almost say, squashed by Saraya. Bryan Danielson came out to get on the microphone, and obviously we got our good boy, the greatest champion of all time. He's better than you, and you know it. MJF coming out and spitting more fire. It should be illegal with how good his promos are. I could only imagine. I'm going to jump quickly, Scott. I can only imagine if he and Roman Reigns went one-on-one in a promo. Fire. Yeah. Up next, we had Revolution Tag Team Battle Royale to determine one of the two remaining openings for the tag team title bout at Revolution, with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal won. That's right, folks. In 2023, we will see Jeff Jarrett in a title bout. Following that, we had Tony Khan's big announcement that we will be having a new All Access show covering talent. And also Adam Cole returns in March. This all happens in March. We will discuss that further on Above the Ring. And then we had Jon Moxley take on and defeat Evil Uno, which was something I totally forgot. Evil Uno being in the main event, good for him. The guy needs more notoriety. Hopping over to Thursday, the go-home show for No Surrender. We had kicking the night off, Motor City Machine Guns taking on defeated Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham. Tommy Dreamer took on defeated Jason Hotch in a Beat the Clock challenge. Allison Kay defeated Taya Valkyrie. Frank Kazarian and Yuya Umura, if I pronounce that right, took on and defeated Diener and Sami Callihan. Another Beat the Clock challenge where Bully Ray defeated Bhupinder Gujjar. Then we had a main event X Division Championship Monster Ball match where Trey Miguel defeated Crazy Steve. I'm going to tag right over once again to Scott to cover SmackDown.
All right, so kicking off SmackDown, we had Imperium taking on and defeating Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and Madcap Moss. It's nice to see the boys from Imperium continuing to run strong, especially Gunther. I really hope that he's able to hold on to that IC title long enough to beat Honky Tonk Man's record, but we'll see. After that, we had a wonderful surprise with a nice little promo off between LA Knight and the New Day. This turned into a match between Kofi and LA Knight, with Kofi getting the victory. After that, we had Charlotte Flair come out to the ring for her face-to-face with Rhea Ripley, but Dominic Mysterio, of course, has to put his nose where it does not belong once again, getting in pretty much in Charlotte's face, with Charlotte pretty much slapping him down, saying that she's got a man at home with a much thicker accent that can take care of her, that Dominic doesn't need to worry about it. This obviously leads to Rhea coming out. They have a little face-to-face, and no words are said, but I'm looking forward to that WrestleMania match. After that, Shayna Baszler defeating Natalya. We had our first Firefly Funhouse in quite some time, and of course, there's a lot more questions than we have answers to, but that's okay. Karrion Kross defeating Rey Mysterio. I think that storyline is finally put to bed. Karrion definitely needs to find a good, solid rivalry to jump into, because his stuff with Drew was good, but the stuff with Rey was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of weird. They just need to find a place for him, because I feel like it just needs to happen. And then closing out SmackDown, Jimmy Uso coming out to the ring to try to get his brother Jay to come out, try to mend fences after what happened in Elimination Chamber. He's interrupted by Sami Zayn. They have a nice little battle of words. Then Jay shows up at the top of where the fans out in the stands. And then before anybody could say anything, Jimmy jumps Sammy. Sammy retaliates. Jay gets to the bottom, to where ringside is, but he doesn't jump over. Solo comes out. It's a little bit of a mess, and I mean that in a good way, because it's like, who's with who? Sammy gets out of the ring. They has this little stare off with Jay, and then Sammy jumps over the rail and off he goes. So there's definitely lots of tension going on here with the bloodline. We don't know who stands with who. So it's intriguing. Roman will be on SmackDown next week, and he says he's going to handle Jay. So we'll see. Bloodline stuff is still the best stuff that's going on in WWE right now. But final tag out, I'll go right back over to Sam so we can talk Rampage.
So on Rampage, we have the Young Bucks take on and defeat Aussie Open. Following that, we had Tony Storm take on and defeat Willow Nightingale. Lance Archer returning to one of the main shows, taking on defeating Bryce Saturn. It's good to see him back. I think Lance is probably the most, if not the most, one of the most underrated talents in AEW.
Agreed.
Following that, the main event, Action Andretti taking on Sammy Guevara with Sammy Guevara getting the W. Guys, quick show. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to listen to our main Above the Ring show. As always, thank you for watching.